Hello YouTube people, today we are taking a look at the Lenovo Yoga Tablet 2 with Windows 8.1 with Bing. And that is quite the product name. In fact, the Yoga Tablet and laptop line naming convention has gotten so convoluted it's sometimes hard to know what's what. The model we're looking at right here is the 8-inch model. There's also a 10-inch model that comes with a little Bluetooth keyboard. But just to give you a little size comparison, here it is next to a soda can, so you can kind of get a feel for the size. Here it is also next to the iPad mini. So as you can see, it's a little bit bigger, and of course thinner on top, but definitely larger on bottom, which we'll go over some of the features of this little stand that we have going here. So what drew me to this particular little tablet was the 1920 by 1200 screen. That's amazingly high for this little device that runs Windows. In fact, most Windows 8.1 devices don't have resolutions that high. Even my ThinkPad Yoga, which is thousands more than this device, has only a 1920 by 1080 screen. So that is definitely a plus for this little guy. It was available for $250 off the Lenovo website. So let's take a quick overview around this little beast. And here's what it comes with. It comes with an AC adapter. It's common mini USB port. Also comes with the device, a little cleaning cloth, and obligatory Office 365 activation card, which is good for 1 year. So let's kind of take a look over this device. If we look on the edge, we've got this famous little tab, I would guess I'm calling it, and it has several different modes. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the screen on because it's actually quite beautiful. The power button's up here on the top, and it feels really good to press that. It's kind of a fun location for a power button. It won't get pressed accidentally because it's kind of indented, so that's really nice. And let's go ahead and put our password in. And there we go. So very beautiful display. It has great viewing angles. It's IPS, and it really looks quite nice. So pretty happy with the display there. So let's take a look at the different modes. So first of all, if you have it all collapsed flat, and let's move this box out of the way so you can see it a little better. It is not as low a profile as you'd expect, because it has this big round cylinder which houses the battery. And it's kind of, I love it and I hate it. So let's talk about that a little bit. It's great because holding this tablet, it leaves plenty of space to hold the device and not block the screen, which, is a valid issue when you have a device this small. You have the iPad, there's no way to hold it without blocking the screen. So even though everyone wants the display all the way out to the edge, on this one side it's actually really nice, and that's great. I love being able to just stand it up, as you can see right there. You also can flip it down like this in kind of a little canvas mode, so you can write on it. We'll talk about the anypen features in a little bit here. So let's look along the side. We have our volume up and down buttons. We have our charging and mini USB port. I am going to do some tests and see what kind of OTG cable I can put in there and make work, whether it can charge and run USB device at the same time. I do not know yet. Come soon. And we have a little Windows button, headphone jack, and of course the power button up here. the power button lights up and glows as it's charging, which is pretty cool. So this little device is pretty neat. Let's take a look at the device itself and take a look at this. This is actually pretty incredible to me. So just stock out of the box, if I can get this to focus. Check that out, 4.5 gigabytes used space. Obviously it's supposed to be 32 and there's some space on there for the recovery partition, but just Windows installed, it's only using 4.5 gigabytes, which is pretty amazing. I think 8.1 is doing some things a little bit differently, which make it a little more conservative on space upon installing. So that leaves you with about 20 gigabytes free on this device right out of the box, which I was kind of concerned because I do have the Asus Vivo Tab Note 8, and also I've looked at the Venue Pro 8, and both of those I always opted for a 64 gigabyte configuration because 32 gigabyte, what are you gonna do? Especially where Windows 8.1 won't let you install apps onto the SD card anymore, like Windows 8 used to let you do. So, but 20 gigabytes is it's fairly reasonable for a little device of this size. So yeah, you can still get away with installing some programs that are modern interface on the SD card. You could run some Steam games right off the SD card if you wanted to. So really, you get a 128 gig SD card in this device, and let me show you where that port is. It's on the back here. You've probably seen this, and this flips up. You can put your micro SD in there. So, newbie tip, don't try to put your finger in there and peel this open. It's like impossible to do. You're like, oh, I can't get it, which that's what I did when I first got out. So the trick is you kind of grip it with your whole hand and just put some pressure, and it's super easy, and it's easier on the hinge and the device itself. So my first experience with the device that sits up like this, well, let me turn it sideways so you can see a little better, that sits up like that was actually a Nexus 7 tablet, which you may know I really love the Nexus 7. But I got this, my daughter kind of commandeered my Nexus 7, and we got this little sponge tough case, and we just kind of bought this on a whim, but this little thing kind of does the same thing, and I was just like, man, this thing is awesome, this is great, like it's durable, and this hinge lets you just set it up. You can Skype people, you can turn on its side, well, kind of, turn on its side on a more steady platform, you can do that. And it's just great, especially for little kids who kind of have trouble holding a device, younger children. But in general, this design was really cool. And then this Lenovo tablet came out, and I was like, wow, that is great. It's really convenient. You got your front-facing speakers on here, stereo sound coming out of it. It makes for a really nice design. So, pretty impressed so far. There's no junk on here. There's no superfish that is on this device, so that's a good thing. We can also get our Microsoft Office on here, and of course, I was really interested. I always like to get my notebooks and portable devices with stylus capability. Now, this does not have an active stylus, but it has what you call anypen technology, and that allows you to use, and I'm sure you've seen the videos, everyone's grabbing their freaking power tools and like writing on the screen, and you're like, okay, I'm not gonna use a screwdriver on my tablet. What are we, like monkeys? Like I don't know what the deal is with that. So anyways, I am gonna show off the anypen features using a pencil, which is a common writing instrument that you probably have lying around, and I actually feel comfortable using it on the screen because it's it's not gonna leak ink on it, it's not gonna scratch it up. Anyways, I know the screen's super durable. I just, why stick a screwdriver through the screen? It's just dumb. Anyways, let's let's show this off before I get too crazy. So let's take a look here. I found that, and one of the first things you have to realize is it kind of treats, even though it's using the anypen technology, it still treats it as basically kind of a capacitive stylus. So you, in OneNote, it's not automatically going to jump in and say, oh, he's using a pen now, I'm going to change to pen mode and let him draw. You have to kind of click the little OneNote icon and say, hey, I'm using a pencil now, so please register whatever I'm typing as pen. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so, oh, you know what, I sharpened this pencil, and if it's too thin a point, it doesn't work on here. So that's one thing to keep in mind. I'm keeping it real. The rest of the videos I've seen on YouTube are like total Lenovo link bait paid reviewers. So here's the real deal with anypen technology. It works. It's adequate for the price, which is basically no added cost to the consumer that I've seen compared to other tablets in this class. It's good. So let's write on here. This isn't too bad. And as you can see, it isn't too bad. Let's get a fresh page so you can kind of see that better. And also let me go ahead and open up and make it a little bit thicker so you can see a lot easier what I'm trying to do here. So let's go with the thick. So most of the problems I'm having here is with the OneNote interface, not the actual anypen technology. So, hello. This is a writing demo. And as you can see, it's pretty good. You know, I had the Dell Venue Pro stylus, and it was about as good as this. You know, it had pressure sensitivity. There's no pressure sensitivity on this device, but for jotting down notes, and obviously these are big notes right now. The hardest thing is working with the interfaces because it doesn't know that it's a pen floating on there, so it thinks you're like writing with your finger or something. You know, it's registering the same. So if you want to get back to your scroll mode, you have to tap here and you have to end your drawing, and then you're back into this mode. And as you can see, it's not going to write unless you say draw in OneNote. So OneNote interface lesson aside, it actually is not bad. I'm going to do another video demonstrating some different techniques with anypen and compare it to capacitive stylus, and we'll take a look at that. But back to this device, it's got really a gorgeous screen. It has the same baytrail Atom platform that you see on every other Atom device. The nice thing on this, the thing that really sets it apart, is this kickstand, the anypen tech, and it's a really nice machine. I'm pretty impressed with it. I think I'm going to keep it over my Asus VivoTab Note 8 for now, since I do have the Lenovo Yoga ThinkPad Yoga, sorry, that has the active stylus on it. So I really only use these little handheld devices for notes, and this is perfectly adequate for taking just quick notes, jotting notes down in meetings and things like that. So great device, very impressed. Build quality is awesome. It has everything you'd want. A super long battery life, supposedly 15 hours, and from what I've seen so far, I need to do some more testing. It may actually live up to that claim. You know, Atom baytrail kind of sips power as long as it turns itself off when you tell it to turn off and doesn't turn on inside your bag. then they usually, have really awesome battery life on these devices. So the Lenovo Yoga Tablet 2 with Windows 8.1 with Bing is a winner in my book. Thanks for watching. I appreciate all of you who enjoy my videos and subscribe and comment. I try to respond to the comments as quickly as I can. Let me know if you want me to cover any other devices that you might be interested in, and we'll keep this boat rolling. So thanks for watching the Sea Butters channel. Please subscribe, and we'll see you later.